In a world that moves fast and can sometimes feel really busy, it's super important to understand our feelings and learn how to handle them. This story is all about why managing our feelings is a big deal and how it can help us deal with tough times and fun times better. So, let's dive into a story that shows us how to be the boss of our emotions and make our everyday life better. Once upon a time, there was a king who would get upset very quickly. Little things, like a small mistake, could make him really angry, even to the point of being unfair to people. Then, one day, a wise monk came to visit the kingdom. The king, excited to meet someone so wise, invited the monk to dinner at his palace. During dinner, something small but unexpected happened. A fly fell into the king's soup. The king became very angry and started to shout at his servant, who was very scared, and said, "I didn't see the fly when I gave you the soup." But the king was still mad. The monk, seeing all this, spoke up in a calm voice, "Your Majesty, it's not the servant's fault. The fly came after he served the soup. You shouldn't let something so small upset you." The king, feeling a bit embarrassed but still upset, said, "But I can't help it. Even a tiny fly bothers me." The monk smiled kindly and said, "It's not really the fly that's bothering you, but how you're choosing to react to it. You have the power to not let it upset you. Your feelings should not be in charge of you, you should be in charge of your feelings." The king sighed and shared, "But I find it so hard to control my anger. When I try to hold it in, I just end up feeling worse." The monk, understanding the king's struggle, explained, "It's because you haven't practiced controlling your feelings. It's important not to make quick decisions when you're very angry or too happy. Take a little time to think before you react. You should guide your feelings, not let them guide you." Taking the monk's advice to heart, the king started to practice being patient and controlling his feelings. After a little while, he noticed that by staying calm, he could think more clearly and make better choices. The king began to feel more peaceful and was able to understand things better and be a better ruler. The king's life became much happier and more peaceful. One day, he went to thank the monk for his wise advice. He said, "Dear wise one, your teachings have changed me. I now have better control over my feelings, and I make smarter choices. I'm very thankful for your help." The monk smiled warmly and said, "King, everyone faces these challenges. Many people act without thinking because they let their feelings take over. You should tell others about this too. Encourage them to be patient and peaceful to live better lives." This story teaches us that feelings like anger, happiness, and sadness are normal, but we shouldn't let them push us around. We might live in a world where things can get pretty crazy, but if we understand our feelings and learn how to manage them, we can handle anything that comes our way. Feelings come and go, and it's okay to feel them, but we shouldn't make big decisions based on them right away. To be in charge of our feelings, we first need to figure out what makes us feel a certain way. These are called emotional triggers. They can be different for everyone. For example, one person might get really angry if they're criticized or stuck in traffic, while another person might feel sad when they're reminded of a tough time. To understand our emotional triggers, we need to think about our feelings and notice them without getting upset at ourselves. We can try things like deep breathing or quiet sitting to calm down. It's also good to pay attention to what we're thinking and feeling when something bothers us. This helps us learn how to respond better next time. There are also other ways to deal with our feelings, like taking a break, talking to a friend, or doing something fun. Remember, feelings don't last forever, and by staying calm and patient, we can get through tough times without letting our feelings make all the decisions. This way, we can have a happier and more peaceful life, without regrets.